Welcome to poolschool.us. I'm Jim Spees, one of the 3 owners of River Pools and Spas, and today I want to talk to you about price and quality. Price and quality are pretty much inseparable. When you have price up here, quality should be up here with it. When you lower the price, quality will generally lower with it. If you lower the price more, quality will lower again with it. If you lower the price too much, quality actually will drop, sometimes out of sight. And you need to be aware of that, especially when purchasing a pool. Because what happens a lot of times, and this is one of my biggest obstacles when I'm sitting down with people, because our company, River Pools and Spas, does sell quality. And that's what we focus on. We want the consumer to be happy. We don't want the consumer bringing things back to us. We don't want the consumer complaining to us. That's why our reference list is over 500 people. It's every pool that we put in. It's why we get a lot of referrals when we're selling pools. It's because we sell a quality product. But I do have times, and it happens quite often, where the consumer, you the purchaser, are looking to purchase a pool, and you're getting those 3 price quotes, which is what most people are told to do. Get 3 quotes and go with that. Well, that actually can be a very big disservice to you, because when you get 3 price quotes, basically you have to rely on the pool person that's out there, the salesperson, the person that's supposed to be the expert, the person that's supposed to be educating you on swimming pools, basically. So what most salespeople will do will get you focused on price, and that's a very big obstacle for me to overcome, because when you're talking about a difference sometimes of $5,000, $7,000, that's very hard to get a person to say, oh my goodness, I don't know, are you actually worth $5,000? Are you worth $7,000 more? I'll suffer and not have quite the service that I would have and pay the $7,000 less, or $5,000, maybe even $3,000. But they're willing to sacrifice quality for price. Now, I'm out here in Lancaster, Virginia, and this customer has allowed me to film his pool and also to do this video. He knows it's going to be on YouTube. One of the things that he did was he went ahead and he focused on price. Unfortunately for him, this pool that I'm getting ready to show you is made by one of the top 5 manufacturers in the United States. It's a very well known, one of the leading manufacturers out there. And the installer didn't do him any justice either when he put the pool in. So let me show you a few things about this pool, and this is why you don't want to get focused on price. Now when this customer bought this pool, his intentions were not to have a pool that would look like this. This pool is 6 years old, and I want you to see what's happened in 6 years. And this just didn't happen this year. This is a process that started happening after you own the pool just for a couple years. So let's take a look at this pool. We're going to walk on over here. We're on the Rappahannock River in Lancaster, Virginia. Beautiful site. And what we have here is a baby blue pool. It's a powder called a powder blue gel coat. And basically, you'll see that it does not have cantilever coping. And we walk on down here. You can see the top of the pool, which doesn't do much for the aesthetics of the pool. Now, I'm going to walk around here and show you the fading that has gone on with this pool and exactly how this looks. If you take a look at the way this pool looks, you can see that there's some considerable fading that's going on. In some areas, it looks like someone poured blue paint on the pool and it's just dripping down the sides. Try to get a close-up of this so you can actually see it, hopefully. With the bright sun here, it's a little difficult to do. Now, there's another problem that this homeowner has encountered in the installation of this pool. And that is that the pool was set on a sand base. We learned early on when pools are set on a sand base, basically what happens is the pool will settle a little bit, the plumbing will settle a little bit. That puts pressure on the returns. The returns are where the water comes back into the pool. And what happens is the returns will crack and then will start to leak. And in order to repair those returns, you have to cut out the concrete. And you will see that this customer here had to have his concrete cut out. And he put pavers back in, so if it happens again. And we've had to come out here to repair those returns that were cracked. And that cracking took place because the pool settled. If the pool had been set on a gravel base, backfilled with gravel, the plumbing had been tied up properly, this consumer would have never experienced any of these problems. If he'd have spent the extra money, he would also have had a pool that would have had a better gel coat process that wouldn't leave him with this end product in less than 6 years, which is unbelievable. I'm going to show you a pool that we put in right about the same time so you can see the difference. And again, you'll see this had to be cut out. The concrete and pavers were put back in its place. And when you look at this pool and you look at this setting, this is not a customer that went cheap. At least he didn't feel he went cheap. I'm sure he spent around $30,000, and when you're spending $30,000, you don't feel you're going cheap. The problem is, actually he spent more because he has an automatic cover. The problem is he wasn't expecting it to look like this in 6 years. He wasn't expecting it to start to go downhill after just a couple years. I'm going to take a walk around, look at his filter system. Again, the installer did him a very big disservice with this filter system. It's not energy efficient at all. He has a 110 pump. The installer focused on cheap and put in a cheap pump. Again, 110. You'll notice that the plumbing on this, pretty simple. And he went with 1.5 inch plumbing. I'm sorry, 1.5 inch plumbing. PVC. Luckily it's hard piped. A lot of guys are now flex piping it, which is even worse. But it should have been 2 inch. He'd had easier turnover, less strain on the pump, less friction. Sand filter. Again, what this does to the homeowner is it makes the homeowner purchase more chemicals, has more parts, more labor, dumping perfectly good pool water out on the ground to clean the sand. This is most pool companies, what most pool companies prefer because it helps them sell chemicals. If you were to come into our retail space, you would see that we sell very few chemicals. We put very few chemicals on the display floor because we don't really sell chemicals. We're focused on salt, and we want the consumer to enjoy the pool. And again, it's the difference of being focused on quality versus price. And this particular person got sidetracked and went with price.